Good morning, children. We are back to the chapter hydrogen. Till now, what we have seen under this chapter, we have seen the importance of dihydrogen in the periodic table. Then we saw how dihydrogen can be prepared, what is its physical property, chemical property, what are its uses we have seen. Then we saw hydrates, right? We saw hydrides and we saw hydrates. Under hydrides, we saw four different forms: saline hydrides, metallic hydrides, molecular hydrides. And under molecular hydrides, we saw electron deficient, electron precise, and electron rich. Then we saw the structure of water and we saw its physical properties. Then we saw its chemical properties, like how it is acting like an acid, how it is acting like a base, how it is involved in a redox reaction, and how it is involved in hydrolysis because it is having a high dielectric constant. Then how it is involved in hydrate formation, where we saw three coordinated complex hydrogen bonded interstitial hydrates. Then we saw what is hard water, what is soft water, what is temporary hardness, how to remove temporary hardness. We saw two methods, boiling and Clark's method. Now, how to remove permanent hardness, okay? How to remove permanent hardness in water. Permanent hardness in water. See, temporary hardness is caused by bicarbonates, right? Calcium bicarbonate and magnesium bicarbonate, which will be converted to carbonates on boiling, precipitated, so we removed it. In Clark's process, we added calcium hydroxide, which helped in removing our bicarbonate to carbonate, which was precipitated, and we removed it. Now, how to remove permanent hardness of water? Before that, you just remember like how permanent hardness is caused to water due to the presence of chlorides of calcium salts and magnesium salts, right? Now, chlorides and sulfates of calcium, magnesium and iron is responsible for the permanent hardness of water. So, to get rid of permanent hardness, I should be removing the chlorides and sulfates of calcium, magnesium and iron present in water. So, you may ask me, ma'am, only from this permanent hardness will be caused? No, apart from these salts, the permanent hardness can also be caused by other soluble salts of these ions. So, it is caused by other soluble salts of these ions too, okay? So, permanent hardness is caused by chlorides and sulfates of calcium, magnesium and iron. It is also caused by other soluble salts. Now, how to remove this? First step is addition of washing soda. Okay, how to remove hardness? For that, the first procedure is addition of washing soda. Before that, let me write my hard water. See, this is my hard water which is having calcium sulfate, or it may contain magnesium sulfate, because I have told you sulfates and chlorides of all these salts. So, let me write my hard water first. Calcium sulfate, magnesium sulfate, calcium chloride and magnesium chloride. Now, this is my hard water, right? My hard water may contain all these or it may contain any of these. Now, to this I am going to add washing soda, which is nothing but sodium carbonate, whose formula is Na2CO3. Sodium carbonate I have added, right? So, here also the mechanism is similar. I will be getting insoluble carbonates. So, when it is insoluble, it forms precipitates which can be easily filtered off, right? So, I will be getting calcium carbonate, magnesium carbonate, same, right? Calcium carbonate, magnesium carbonate. So, what is remaining? Sodium sulfate and sodium chloride will be liberated. Sodium chloride or sodium sulfate will be liberated. You understood the reaction? My hard water is containing calcium sulfate, magnesium sulfate or calcium chloride or magnesium chloride, to which I am adding washing soda. So, calcium carbonate will be liberated. Okay, it should be like this, okay? Calcium carbonate will be liberated. So, what should be the what will be removed from here? Sodium sulfate will be removed. In the second reaction, it is magnesium carbonate, so sodium sulfate removed. Calcium chloride, So calcium carbonate is removed, sodium chloride is removed. Magnesium chloride, so what is formed? Magnesium carbonate, sodium chloride is removed. So the end product should be sodium chloride or sodium sulfate, and the insoluble precipitate should be calcium carbonate or magnesium carbonate. Okay. So this is how you can remove the permanent hardness of hard water. And the second step is called as permuted process. What is the second step called as? Permuted process. See, this permuted process is used to remove both the temporary hardness as well as your permanent hardness. It is used to remove temporary and permanent hardness. What is the mechanism involved? Here the mechanism involved is ion exchange resins. I am going to use ion exchange resins to remove temporary and permanent hardness. I told you I am going to use ion exchange resin to remove temporary hardness and permanent hardness by the process permuted. Here zeolite is used. Here zeolite is used. What is zeolite? Zeolite is sodium aluminium silicate. Okay. I can call zeolite as hydrated sodium aluminium silicate, which is otherwise called as permuted. Sodium aluminium silicate, hydrated form of sodium aluminium silicate. Now if I add this zeolite, what happens? It removes my calcium and magnesium salts. Okay, let me write the reaction as usual. Now I have my hard water which is containing my calcium ion and magnesium ion, right? To which I am going to add my zeolite, which is nothing but sodium aluminium silicate. Now what happens? Here my calcium aluminium silicate is formed. What is formed? Calcium aluminium silicate or magnesium aluminium silicate is formed with the liberation of sodium. Now this zeolite can be regenerated when you treat it with sodium chloride. Let me repeat it. What is permuted process? Permuted process is used to remove temporary and permanent hardness of hard water by using ion exchange resins. Here zeolite is used. Zeolite is nothing but hydrated sodium aluminium silicate. I have my hard water containing calcium salts and magnesium salts, to which I am going to add my zeolite. So here what happens? The sodium will be liberated out and calcium aluminium silicate or magnesium aluminium silicate will be formed with the liberation of sodium. So I don't have my resin, right, because my sodium is replaced here. So I can regenerate this by treating with sodium chloride solution. So again I will be getting sodium aluminium silicate, which can be used in the cyclic process. So this is your permuted process. Now the third method used to remove your permanent hardness is using synthetic resins. This is your third method to remove permanent hardness. Here hard water can be softened by using synthetic cation exchangers. Name itself is indicating that I am going to exchange the salts with this cationic exchangers, right? See, this method is more efficient compared to the method of zeolite. Okay. So here the cation, I told you I am going to use cationic exchanges. So cationic exchanges are nothing but large organic molecules which contain synthetic sulfonic acid group. They have synthetic sulfonic acid group. So synthetic resins is an efficient method to remove permanent hardness, where we are using synthetic cationic exchangers, which are large organic molecules containing sulfonic acid group. So first this resin should be changed to sodium form. I need to change it to sodium form by treating it with the sodium chloride, and then it is used for softening the water. Okay, and then it is used for softening the hard water. Let me write the reaction. Now this is my hard water containing calcium salts and magnesium salts, to which I am going to add my resin. My resin should be converted to sodium form, right? So I am writing this as RNA. R is nothing but this sulfonic acid group, and Na I have treated with sodium chloride. Now what will be formed, children? I have my hard water containing these salts, to which I am going to add my cationic exchanger, which is in sodium form, right? So I will be getting calcium form of exchanger plus sodium will be liberated. In the second case, what I will get, children? I will be getting magnesium form of exchanger along with the sodium liberation. So now the resin can be regenerated for further use by treating it with sodium chloride. I can tell you, your resin method, the synthetic resin method as well as your permuted process method are one and the same. Only thing is, here you have used zeolite, which is in sodium form, right? Because zeolite is nothing but sodium aluminium silicate. Here you are using a synthetic resin, which is nothing but organic molecule containing sulfonic acid group, which is first converted to sodium form. So in both cases there is an exchange of salt with the liberation of sodium, and in both cases here zeolite can be regenerated by treating it with sodium chloride, and here synthetic resin can be regenerated by treating with sodium chloride solution. So we have seen three methods of softening the permanent hard water, that is the salts of calcium, magnesium and iron. Chlorides and sulfates of all these salts and other soluble salts are responsible for causing permanent hardness. And how to remove permanent hardness? We have added washing soda. So what happens? Carbonate form, insoluble carbonate form is formed, which is insoluble, so it should be precipitated and removed. In permuted process, I have added zeolite, which is nothing but hydrated sodium aluminium silicate. In synthetic resin, I have added a synthetic cationic exchanger. So permuted and exchangers can be regenerated for further treatment by treating them with sodium chloride solution. And moving to the last method, that is deionized water. Yeah, once again.